caught yourself performing, I don't mean acting on stage, I mean performing in life, playing a role, wearing a mask. I know I had. In fact, I did it for most of my life. And the funny thing is, I didn't even realise I was doing it until I started peeling back the layers. We can all do it. So why do we put on this performance? Why do we hide who we really are? It starts early. Society teaches us to act, not to be. To be acceptable, agreeable, polished, professional, pleasing, normal, whatever that is. We're conditioned to filter ourselves, to adjust our tone, our behaviour, even our desires, just to fit in and be like everyone else. And we wear this ego suit of armour that becomes our identity, who we think we are, quite often associated around our job or our role at work. But truthfully, it's not us. It's a defence mechanism, a way to stay safe, a way to feel accepted. For me personally, I was always aware of how others might perceive me. It was like I had an invisible mirror constantly reflecting back judgment, so I'd shape-shift. I'd edit myself, wanting to be liked and accepted, wanting to be understood, wanting to belong. But deep down, it was like I was living a lie. Because no matter how much you perform, it's not the real you. The inner conflict starts to build up inside. That quiet discomfort, like there's something off. It's misalignment. And that's what eats away at your happiness. Truth and authenticity vibrate at a much higher frequency. When you allow yourself to just be, to show up raw, flawed, open, that's when life feels lighter. That's when your relationships become deeper. That's when your intuition starts to speak louder. Because you're not blocking it anymore with false personas. It's funny, isn't it? We're here to remember who we truly are, yet so much of life trains us to forget. But that's the battle, that's the challenge in life. It trains us to forget our uniqueness, to forget our power, to forget that at the core, underneath the armour, we are enough. And we're so much more powerful than we can ever imagine. Ego wants to keep us safe, but its version of safety is performance, control, perfectionism, fear of judgment. So we shrink, or we overcompensate, or we stay silent when something inside is begging to be expressed. But your authenticity is your superpower, as I said. And I'm not saying you have to show every single part of yourself to everyone. But being real with yourself is where it starts. Can you drop the mask even when people are watching? Can you let your truth sit in the room with you? Can you give yourself permission to just be? Because that's where the freedom is. You're not here to play a role for others. You're not here to be a copy of someone else's idea of success or worthy or good enough. You're here to be you, the real you underneath that armour, fully. And if that sounds scary, it's okay. It's not about flipping a switch. It's about noticing, reflecting, getting curious, tuning in. So maybe today's the day you take a small step closer to your truth. Say what you really think. Wear what feels like you. Share the thing you've been hiding, even just with yourself. To acknowledge that performance and where the truth is. And when we live in our truth, we create space. We raise our frequency. We attract the people and experiences that match our real energy, not the performance. And that's when life starts to flow. So maybe it's time to take off the mask, to stop performing, to be seen. start remembering who you really are. It's a journey of a lifetime, and some of us never get started. I'm walking that path too, and it's not always easy, but it's so worth it. Let's live in that vibration of truth, authenticity and freedom. It's an amazing place to be. If you like this video or it resonated in some way, do subscribe below, and I'll see you in another one.